Yes, it's exceptional. It is a magnificent and maravilloso. I'm here with you again, taking in the evening. The sun is about to set. There's fog in the air. The ocean, the waves are coming from a different direction than they have been. Apparently today there was some big wave surfing in Nazaré. If you don't know about Nazaré, check it out online. It's quite stunning. We're about 30 minutes from the sun setting. I won't watch it. Well, I'll see it from the house. How are you today? Is it another magnificent day in your life? You want me to swing around for you? It might get windy. Come to the edge. Catch the town over there, longing for your embrace. Oops, a little foggy. I just got done writing, and not done, but did it earlier, and I'm going to go edit and upload 3 emails that I have just created. It's a sequence on suffering, on happiness, on the emotions, on feeling your feelings. I'm speaking to the idea of suffering and the idea of happiness, and to the contemplation of joy, and to the experience of being with your sadness, and how running from your feelings actually creates more suffering, particularly when you believe or get confused by this idea that you are your feelings, that you are your thoughts. It's a little bit sneaky in its way, isn't it? Because we talk about these things. I am sad, I'm depressed. No, you are none of these things. These things aren't true statements. But we live into them as if it's so. So in conversation in the 3 emails that I wrote today, I'll write more because that's where I'm at. That's what I do for fun. For some reason I seem to be compelled to write, think, contemplate about how we identify ourselves and how we live ourselves and how we believe ourselves to be in certain ways that aren't so, that cause us kind of suffering. But it's not the suffering actually that is interesting to me. It's not the trying to get free of the suffering that's interesting to me. That just is one of the tertiary aspects of it. What was more fascinating to me is the idea of thriving, is the idea of limitlessness, is the idea of what is it that you think is impossible for you, yet it is potentially right there for you to be experiencing or have or create or attract or whatever the case may be. Human potential is so fascinating, and that is really what excites me. That is where I love to play. The infinite creativity that exists within you. But oftentimes we first need to address some of these base concepts, issues, and ideas, such as you believing that you are one thing or another when in fact you're not. I sometimes just say this phrase, we need to disidentify to identify, so that we can see and experience what is true. So we can move beyond that which has us bound.